What is up, everyone? All right, we're going through another live stream today, and this is going to be part three of trying to figure out how on earth to update fields in a React application. Specifically, this is input fields. Basically, what's going on is continuation from last time. So I'll go ahead and bring that up. So continuation from last time, where essentially the issue was that we're trying to update the inputs in this particular page or any page, but the references that we have to the inputs can change, especially after a click event or any sort of interaction with the page, which causes the element to get re-rendered. And when that happens, the element reference that we have no longer works. And so essentially what we need to do is pull up a new reference to that same element. But how do you do that? How do you do that, without accessing React like itself on the page? And I think that's essentially where we stopped. And my idea was that basically what we could do is get the element by some sort of property or combination of properties on the original element. So you have the original element, just think, maybe it's like a input, type equals text, name equals blah, and then, this could be like address line one or something. ID equals blah, 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 and then whatever, you have your element input. What you want to convert this to is um, uh, you want to find the updated element. So given this particular element, how do you find another element on the page using something like, document dot get or, query selector and then blah, 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 such that you get only one element back. So, there's no ambiguity. No ambiguity. That's the goal. That's the goal. You want to find the refreshed element. And I think I might have just described exactly how I go about doing this. Um, yeah, it sounds like, find updated element based on original element properties. Is this TypeScript? No, it's just, um, and then this could be like original. Okay, interesting. Okay, would that actually work? So original tag name, and then array from original attributes, and then it calls. Oh, okay. All right. This is actually super interesting. Um, wouldn't you need to append one more thing? Yeah, you do. You do that at the very end. Cool. This is exactly what I was after. And so here, all you have to do is return updated. Do you think this would work? This sounds pretty compelling. I mean, it seems like it should. Yeah, basically, throwing error. Okay, not updated. The other failure mode is if updated returns multiple elements. So you could select query selector all and then check how many elements you have back. And if you don't have exactly one element, then yeah, I mean, something's wrong. Also, I don't know if there's a way for us to actually know if an element is mounted. like check if the original element is still in the DOM. Like, is there a way we can actually check that? Contained? Really? Okay. So if the element is already in the body, um, then you can return original. Otherwise, you're going to return the updated. So you can do updated and then return updated. Oh, I think this would be perfect. Let's see. Let's see. Let's give this a shot. So, uh, what's the playbook here? Yeah, first thing you need to do is refresh. Let's clear this. Refresh. Refresh the page and hope for the best. All right. Like the page is ready. Let's open up the DevTools first. I'm gonna put this over here. DevTools right here. Clear them, and let's see if this works. All right. Wait for the response. Huh. Could not find updated element matching input type equal text ID equals blah blah blah. Okay, interesting. All right. Well, I guess like ID would be sufficient, right? Um, so this obviously didn't work, but if we were to find, um, let's just do this. Would that work? No. Search address input doesn't exist. What? Because it changed? Became address one. Oh, okay. So it seems like what's going on is so let's refresh this page and then I'll show you what my working theory is here. Seems like the element is actually getting replaced. So this one has an ID of search address input, but when you click on enter address manually, it changes the input to um, address one. So you can't even search by the same element because it's been replaced entirely. Okay. All right. I see what's going on. I see what's going on. And so in this particular situation, like the only thing I can think of is you would need to call the GPT-4V API again after clicking and requesting an update based on the new DOM that you have. Oh man, yeah, this could be annoying. So if the structure of the page changes, then essentially you'd have to call the API all over again and have it relabel all of the fields and give you the instructions again. Hmm. Okay, I guess technically you could do that. No problem. So basically, that would be effectively the same as clicking the button again. Seems simple enough. There you go. Everything worked. State did not, naturally. Um, Naturally, really? Why? Because it's a drop down? Yeah, it's a drop down. Yeah, so you wouldn't have been able to continue because you didn't select the proper state. And I guess what's actually going on is get element by label. What are we calling that? So you have type, which calls simulate typing, and simulate typing does all this stuff here. We're calling set attribute value when we don't actually know what the value is. Um, yeah, especially in the case of a dropdown. So the way we get around this is if you have a select box, then maybe you would have a different action. Hmm. Yeah, maybe you'd be able to do that, right? Um, Click, type, or select, and then select would actually work for dropdowns. Okay, only applies to type actions. And but how would you actually know the select option for a dropdown? I mean, in the screenshot, you have access to the state. Uh, you wouldn't know. Not from a screenshot anyway. Uh, that is a tricky one. So for a dropdown, you would need to know like what the options actually are in order for you to select from them. So the way I would do this is let's undo this change. To undo this. So what's going on here? What did I change? Oh, already selected. Oh. Um, let's see. I mean, you could simulate typing, but the way I go around doing this is you could say if L dot tag name equals if this is a drop down, then so if L dot tag name equals select L dot value equals values action dot txt, um, find the option based on the tags. Option dot selected. Can you do that? Um, yeah, I mean, basically what I would do is function simulate select element dot focus. What? We found a reference to public code in a recent suggestion. I don't even know what that means. So simulate select L values action.txt. Else we would simulate typing. Ah, cool. Okay. So simulate select. Here we would, find the options. Option equal options dot find where you have a match. And so in our case, it would be, yeah, Delaware. So I'm assuming that the dropdown is going to have the exact list of options that we have, based on like the saved data. But I think we'd have to add a note somewhere here. What about dropdowns that use a different format than the one we're using? I mean, you can imagine the state either being shown as, like CA versus, California. So how would we handle that instance is essentially what I'm trying to get at here. For our purposes, I'm just saying, you know what, like forget about it. Maybe it doesn't matter. At least, for this particular instance, but we'll have to address that at some point. Simulate select, and then you have the selected text. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think that should address the second issue that we had. Um, yeah, let's just do a refresh here, clear the errors, and then refresh this page. And so now for testing going forward, essentially what we're going to do, I just noticed I say essentially what we're going to do quite a bit. Maybe I should stop saying that so frequently. So essentially what we're going to do is click that first option manually and then proceed. See if this works out. Cool, cool, cool. Oh, state didn't work. L is not defined. Probably a stupid typo. Simulate select. Yeah, that's this. Okay. So that would have broken. Yeah, refresh. It's weird though how like a single error just causes the thing to automatically fail. Isn't that strange? That's because it's a Chrome extension. And normally JavaScript would continue to process, like it wouldn't just stop. Oops, take a screenshot without the button at the bottom. That's unfortunate. Oh, what? What happened? Oh, L. Oh man. I don't even know how much this costs, like a stupid mistake like this, and I have to reprocess the whole page. I don't even know how much it costs exactly. Like, imagine if it were like $1 for each Vision API call. I mean, that would be a huge raise. Do we even know how much does a GPT-4 Vision API call cost? All right, enter address manually, and then line it up perfectly and make the request. Oh, action is not defined. Oh dear Lord. Okay, I'm just gonna go through this text, through this function line by line to make sure that I'm not making any more stupid mistakes. Element.focus, get all of the options from element.options, then compare the text in each option to the values array, or the values map, which we'd set up at the very top of the file. Set the option to selected, and then dispatch the change and the blur events. Yeah, sounds about right. Hopefully the last stupid mistake we'll discover. Let's run it again. Enter manually. Let's go. I just focus here. All right. Cannot set properties of undefined setting selected. Oh, so I wasn't able to find the state. So if I store this as a global variable, temp1.options.map, oh, I think there's a way to do this, or array from, okay, yeah. So you need to do array.from the options. Oh, I already do that. Array.from element.options. So you're calling, where are we? Array.from element.options, and then you're calling options.find values selected text. Okay, that returns the element. Oh, okay, you're calling selected on. That's returning an option, and then you're calling. Okay, you're calling option.selected equals true. And then how do you get the original element? That would be temp1. Okay. Okay. So, cool. It does work. Does work. Well, when you do it manually. Uh, so element focus, array.from element.options. And then you find the specific option by comparing the text to values selected text. Wait, values? What? Selected text? No, that's not right. Um, no. You're supposed to compare state. Oh, okay. Oh, how do you know that it's going to be a state? Oh, okay, okay. All right, that's going to be a problem. Uh, yeah, it's going to be a problem. I didn't even know that this would be an issue because think about it, right? You have a drop down and you don't know that it's going to reference a state. You don't know. Drop down could be for something else. So how do you know that it references a state? Well, it would tell you, wouldn't it? like the response you'll get back is state. Okay, so action.text. That's actually correct. Wait, yeah, that's actually correct. Action.text would be state. And values action.text would be Delaware. And then what you would do when you call this is, oh, okay, so you're no longer saying values selected text. This should just be selected text. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Cool. All right, that should sort it out. So we go back here, clear the errors, refresh, refresh. That should sort it out. Basically, the stupid error was that, right, yeah, click enter address manually, take the screenshot. Let's see. Here goes nothing. All right, it actually worked. Okay, all right, okay. This is a big breakthrough, ladies and gents. Big breakthrough. Uh, it actually worked. It actually worked. And yeah, now I actually feel like I need to celebrate this a little bit more. This is such a big deal. It finally worked. Can't believe this. And okay, let's just take it in. Take it in. You actually got to the point where you gave it a screenshot. It figured out like what needs to be input in every individual field, and then it updated the form. And this is a React form, which is super crazy because there are all sorts of little gotchas with updating these individual fields, and yet it worked out, and we completed the form. Fantastic, unbelievable. I hate this beat, by the way. I don't even know why it's playing. All right, this is fantastic. So let's go ahead and check this off the list, shall we? Where's our plan? I mean, this is a pretty big deal. This is a pretty big deal, ladies and gents. Next up, we have MVP for a single site. MVP for a single site. Okay. All right. Okay. This is very interesting. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this video short. Finally got the last bit of this piece done. I'm very happy with it. And all we need to do now is figure out how to continue the process. So whenever the screen changes, or we require the website requires input from us, we need to do the same process. So take a screenshot, label the items, and then pass them on to the GPT-4 Vision API, and do the same steps. So basically figure out like what we need to click in order to advance the checkout process. So that's gonna be fun. That's something that we're going to do in the next video. But for now, let's just bask in the glory of the moment. Ladies and gents, we made it this far. I mean, I don't even know how many hours I've spent on this so far. It's just ridiculously more than I expected initially, but we made it. That's what matters, and I'm happy that we got this far. So, adios, everyone. I'll see you guys in the next video, assuming someone actually watches that next video.